One of my most successful activities was the organizing the Christian icon exhibition.
I love icons, so I want to learn how to paint them. Just everything. I always have. I don't know what it is about them. I mean, obviously the religious factor, but I'm into art.
So for me, these icons are sacred because they communicate the risen Lord.
My humble contribution to this exhibition, my parents gave me when I went to bid them farewell. My mother said, "My son, that's all I've got to give you. My blessings and those two icons to protect you." So, if you find the catalogue poor in explaining what all these icons came from, remember, we brought them with us, were given to us by parents and grandparents to protect us.
The Hellenic Club is hosting an exhibition of treasured icons donated by members of the local Greek community. Michael Kazan is the organiser, and he says that the display has proved so popular that it's going to stay put for a little bit longer. Adam Shirley went to see it.
In 1970, before coming to Australia, I went to see my parents, who at the time was living on the island of Lesbos, to say goodbye to them. The final words were, "Our son, unfortunately, we can't give you any help financially, but we can give you our blessings and those two icons to protect you." And that is in my soul, it's in my mind all the time. The Hellenic Club put a flyer around asking people who brought icons with them from Greece when they first came to bring them to the club for the exhibition.
How hard was it to bring all the artefacts together once you'd put that initial call out?
People were very shy, to put it bluntly, but since the exhibition was set up, a lot of people of Greek background came and said, "We've got icons too. And next time you have an exhibition, we'll be only too happy to lend you our icons." So yes, this is only the first exhibition of Greek icons in Canberra. I would say that St. John the Forerunner will be more than 400 years old. Our Lady and the Child probably will be 300 to 350, and the third one probably will be the newest one, but again it will be more than 250 years old. They are all paints and they are egg tempera as well, so there are different paints used. They were brought from private homes. Most of them, especially the ones who are in the lockable glass displays. The pride of people who lend us the icons is so obvious, and they come and always ask, "Do many people come?" And I must admit that the attendance or the people who come to visit this exhibition is an incredible number of people of all walks of life, any religion, any background. The important thing is they are heirlooms, that things which belong to our families for centuries. It is very, very important to show what Greek culture is all about. which is more than souvlaki and retsina and tzatziki. So yes, Greeks and migrants in general brought a lot of their culture with them. It's part of them. I don't think that the owners of those icons are interested in the monetary value of it. Yes, it may be worth thousands of dollars, but for them is what really these icons mean to them rather than the actual value of it.
What does it mean to you to be able to present all these icons to the Canberra community?
When I sit here and people come in and ask questions, and I see how much they appreciate this exhibition and the words they use, it's beyond, I can't find words to express my feelings.
Adam Shirley with that report.
Now, as your viewers would know, we've had the Taste of Greece last month in March, which was a wonderful 2 weeks of all Greek food throughout the club. But for those who truly hunger, and we all know what that refers to, spiritual hunger, tonight and the next 2 weeks is the opportunity with our Orthodox Icons exhibition. That's the only real nourishment people are going to get for their soul. And I should add that this is going to be the first in a series. This has proved so popular with almost 100 icons given here for this evening's exhibition for the next 2 weeks, that I can see this becoming a more regular event in line with the club's cultural program and its aims to bring the Greek culture out to the people.
Well, we chanted a number of pieces. The first piece with which we opened and which we sang as we were in procession towards the area where the speeches were is a hymn about icons, and it's sung in fact on the Sunday of Orthodoxy, which is when the whole Greek community brings its icons to the church and processes around the church, and we sing exactly that hymn.
Yeah, I love icons, so I want to learn how to paint them.
What do you love about it?
Just everything. I always have. I don't know what it is about them. I mean, obviously the religious factor, but I'm into art, and it's probably one of my favourite types of art. So, yeah, I just think they're amazing.
I just like the artwork. I like they've got so much history about them.
So our faith is actually pronounced throughout these icons. The church has known the message of Christ through these icons. For thousands of years, the majority of Orthodox were illiterate, and the only way that the faith's teachings could be communicated were through these icons. So for me, these icons are sacred because they communicate the risen Lord.
My humble contribution to this exhibition are 2 icons. My parents gave me when I went to bid them farewell. My mother said, "My son, that's all I've got to give you. My blessings and those 2 icons to protect you." So, if you find the catalogue poor in explaining what all these icons came from, remember, we brought them with us, were given to us by parents and grandparents to protect us.
And just to give an example how it came to me, was that, as we know, in the Greek culture, Greek religion, on Good Friday, the priest goes around the cemeteries, blesses the dead. Then, when I went home, I was looking for a document, and I remembered that in a Greek, very good Greek old tradition, I had pinned it at the back of an icon my mother and my parents gave me when I went to say goodbye to them before coming to Australia. I thought, I'm sure I'm not the only Greek who coming to Greece, coming to Australia brought an icon. And the response was overwhelming. So normally the exhibitions I organized was for 2 to 3 weeks. This particular exhibition was open for 2 months.
Really?
Because people kept coming, and also people who were hesitant to lend me their icons in case of something happened to them, they came and said, "Oh, Michael, I've got 1 icon or 2 icons. So next time I organize an exhibition, I will be only too happy to give them to you." And in a way, as I said, because these icons were so, people were so attached to these icons, and to trust me and give me their icons to exhibit them was the best way they could express their trust to me and to me as a person, and also to what I was trying to do and trying to achieve. And one morning when I happened to be in the area of the exhibition, a couple came with a little child, about 5 years old child. I asked them the obvious question. I mean, you're Muslims, this is Christian icons. And I was very impressed because the little girl was asking questions. Who is this? Who is that? Why is this? Why is wearing this? And the response was that there is one God. No matter what you call, what name you give him. And this is really a beautiful array of something which is very important to a particular part of people. So why not be visiting this? So it made me very proud, and it gave me the incentive to continue and try to think what things.
I want to thank, on behalf of the Board of Directors, Michael Kazan for his great work as Cultural Advisor in organising this exhibition, and more broadly for all of your work that you do in bringing culture to the club.
Η κοινότητα εδώ της Καμπέρας είναι πάρα πολύ δυνατή. Είμαστε τυχεροί που έχουμε το Hellenic Club. Αισθανόμαστε περήφανοι για αυτό το κτίριο που διοργανώνει και πολιτιστικές εκδηλώσεις όπως την απόψινή. Αλλά...
Another exhibition I did was of a naive painter from Lesbos, Theophilos. So of course I could bring the originals.
And that's also our program for the week as we go a combined exhibition at the Hellenic Club Gallery in Woden, the work of folk painter Theophilus, along with some of the artefacts from the Greek islands. It's well worth a look. Enjoy.
That was another very successful exhibition. So, as I said, a lot of opportunities presented themselves to me, and I thought, look, this is a good thing to do, which promotes what I'm trying to do as a cultural advisor of the Club. You see, the thing was that apart from the exhibition, I had an explanation of who he was and what happened, and the fact that somebody who was considered mad, who died of starvation, who was painting for a plate of food, and then after his death, his work was exhibited at the Louvre in Paris.
Theophilus was probably for a lot of people a madman, or to use another expression, very eccentric. But everybody admits that his hands were so powerful by looking at the paintings he created. The whole history of Greece is presented in his paintings, from classical time to the National Revolution of 1821 and to his day. As well as he loved people, he loved nature, and it is all very obvious when you look at his work. The variety of his themes, the colors they made himself, and I would like to repeat that he was a self-taught artist. His grandfather on his mother's side was an iconographer. Probably that's where he got the genes from. What did I learn about putting on this exhibition? What I learned was how little I know about Theophilus. I thought I knew plenty, but not really. Looking at his work and reading what other people thought and said and wrote about Theophilus makes me feel as a novice. And obviously, I will need another life to be able to study thoroughly, understand and appreciate this unique folk painter.
Those of us that have grown up here have an opportunity to look back at the history that many of us weren't familiar with in the past. So it's terrific to see some of these old prints and other memorabilia.
It's a pleasure to be here at the Hellenic Club. I noticed Club of the Year 2012, a very famous landmark in Canberra. I'm from Melbourne, a very large Greek community, but I've always been impressed by the organisation and the success of the Greek community in Canberra. So congratulations to all, and we look forward to enjoying the evening.
And every time I come, I'm so impressed and proud of the Canberra Greek community for establishing, for perpetuity really, such an icon of a club. Every city, every Greek organisation, including the Greek Orthodox community of Melbourne, they're very jealous of you. They think, why couldn't we do it with so many Greeks? So good on you, Canberra Greeks, you've done it well.
I think it would be a great opportunity for the community members tonight to meet the new ambassador. Really look forward.
Hello.
Γεια σας. Hi, how are you? Γεια σας. Είμαι Μεσβαράκης, από τη Μελβούρνη. Χαίρομαι πολύ, καλώς ήρθατε.
Είμαι ιδιαίτερα υπερήφανος που ξανάρχομαι σε αυτό το πανέμορφο και πολύ εντυπωσιακό κλαμπ της Καμπέρας. Ανάκτορο. Πράγματι είναι το ανάκτορο της Καμπέρας. Είναι το πιο μεγαλοπρεπές hall και κλαμπ που έχει ιδρύσει ο ελληνισμός από τότε που ήρθε στην Αυστραλία μέχρι τώρα. Μπράβο στους Έλληνες της Καμπέρας, τους αξίζει συγχαρητήρια. Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Great thrill to be here, John. Thank you for the introduction, and great to be in Canberra in the prestigious Hellenic Club, the envy of Greeks across the country. And it's also great to be here at a time when they're launching this fantastic exhibition on the art of Theophilus, someone I'm learning about tonight. I'd heard the name, but I didn't realise really the excellence of the artwork. So great to be here together with compatriots from across the country. Great to share in the Hellenic spirit here at the Hellenic Club. Our thanks go to the board for their hospitality tonight, and it augurs well for the strength of the Greek diaspora.
Nick has had great history with the Powerhouse Museum, which has showcased Greek art in the past, and I'm very interested to know what sort of involvement has the Greek diaspora in Australia in art here too.
Well, the Greek diaspora has been very active in art, and I'm talking about going back to the 1920s. There we have artists from the Hellenic community who've been active for decades, and some of them not that well known. And we've showcased some of them in Sydney quite recently. But of course, we also have Greeks who are involved in the arts in a broader administrative capacity, and we have a lot of star performers in Melbourne, in Canberra, in Sydney. So the arts are not foreign to the Greeks. In fact, some might say that they originate with the Greeks, so it's no surprise.
If something touches you, something Greek touches you, this Hellenicity. And we're happy, and especially for the young generation, to enjoy such a privileged dimension. And I'm very happy, that the Hellenic Club is an institution with at least 55,000 members interacting with this society, and it reflects culture, entertainment, it entails social and corporate responsibility, so it is a multidimensional activity. And we're happy because it is in the hands of a board composed of young Greek Australians. So the relay of the older generation to the younger one is very focused on Australia. And we're happy to have such an institution radiating in Canberra.
This is an important painting, I'll tell Eric too. Απόψε είμαστε στην ελληνική λέσχη της Καμπέρας, η μεγαλύτερη λέσχη ελληνική σε όλο τον κόσμο, και έχουμε την έναρξη της έκθεσης του Θεόφιλου, του άρτης της Ελλάδας, από τα πρώτα χρόνια του 20ου αιώνα. Και τούτη η πινακίδα, ήθελα να πω δύο λόγια για τούτη την πινακίδα, γιατί λέει την ιστορία του Θεόφιλου. Δείχνει έναν άνθρωπο χωρίς σπίτι και τα παιδιά του κάνουν κόλπα και παίζουν μαζί του. Και ίσως αυτό δείχνει στην ιστορία του, που έμενε στη Βόλο και έφυγε ξαφνικά από τη Βόλο, γιατί κάποιοι του κάνανε κόλπα σε ένα καφενείο και έπεσε εκεί που έβαφε και ντροπιάστηκε πολύ, τον ερεζιλέψανε και έφυγε από εκεί. Και ίσως τούτη η πινακίδα, αν κοιτάξετε, λέει την ιστορία του πολύ. Ήταν ένας μεγάλος φημισμένος της Ελλάδας και πιο πολλοί τον έχουν αναγνωρίσει σε άλλα κράτη, όπως τη Γαλλία και άλλα κράτη του κόσμου. Και έπρεπε να δείξει η Ελλάδα τώρα, μόνο μετά από το θάνατό του, την εκτίμηση. Tonight we're here for the Theophilos exhibition. Theophilos, a renowned Greek artist of the late 19th and early 20th centuries from Mytilene, but he lived also in Volos and in other parts of Greece too. And like all the great prophets, he's not recognised in his own town the way he should be. And he was more recognised in Paris, in France, in the Louvre. His works have been displayed there as well. He lived a very modest life. His entire life was very modest, painting things like murals, painting ordinary people as well. And this work here is what I just want to say a few words about, because it's very poignant and symbolic of his life. This work is called "Τα παιδιά πειράζοντα τον αλήτην" and "Εν Mytilene έργων Θεόφιλου." So it's a work by Theophilos, and the title is "The children are teasing the homeless man or the tramp." And in Theophilos' own life, as I mentioned, he lived in Volos for many years and painted there, painted walls of buildings, lived very simply, didn't earn great amounts of money. He only worked for his meals or for his accommodation, for board. And something happened in Volos, and he left suddenly. and we think something happened in a cafenil. He was offended or embarrassed in some way. They played a trick on him when he was on a ladder painting, and they took the ladder away and he fell, and he was greatly embarrassed in the cafenil, the coffee shop. I think this painting is symbolic of that, because this is children making fun of a homeless man, and he's got something wrong with his leg here. So I think this may be autobiographical in some way, which adds an extra poignancy to this work.
We have to congratulate the club, the Hellenic Club, for putting this exhibition, because it's one of the very rare exhibitions that we've seen around the world. I mean, about Theophilos, because in Paris they really think about him in big and high esteem.
I think it's very important for the club to showcase these exhibitions, to show Canberra, show those Greeks in Canberra and also non-Greeks in Canberra, our culture and our background, and for them to see something different, something new, and to understand our culture from Greece.
Δυο κύματα θα σβήσουμε κι εμείς. Τα κύθυρα ποτέ δεν θα τα βρούμε. Όπα!
I have to express my thanks to the CEO, Ian Cameron. Every time I wanted to organize something, I went to him and I said, "Oh, Ian, this is what I want to do." So Ian will say to me with a smile, "Go ahead, Michael, be careful of your budget."
And he gave me the budget.
So he never asked how much it was going to cost, but be careful. And he knew that I was not going to be a spendthrift. And so when, for example, we needed to frame things, I will go and look around and find the cheapest, the best and the cheapest frames, for example, things like that. So, yes. That's why I said before that I did what I did from my part, but also I wouldn't have been able to do all these things unless I had the support of the Hellenic Club. If I may refer to a letter that I received from Andrew Satsas after I left, thanking me for all I did for the Hellenic Club, and he said in his letter, "Michael, when you came to us and talked to what you were planning, we really couldn't understand what you were talking about. But we're glad that we did give you the job and we asked you to be part of the development, if you like, of the Hellenic Club." So yes, I did get the support of the board. And also the fact that my position was kept open for 3 years in case he had decided to come back.
So,
yes. So.